How does it feel? Like it's someone else's.
Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is well and truly underway. We've just finished WandaVision, and now Disney Plus is dropping the first episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier this week. If WandaVision was the story of the quirky couple, one an android-based Vision and the other a telepathic Wanda, the 6-part series follows Sam Wilson as the Falcon and Bucky Barnes as the Winter Soldier in the aftermath of Avengers Endgame. Both Falcon and Winter Soldier were part of the Captain America sub-franchise of the Avengers universe. In the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, both get the main protagonist role, and the pair are set to embark on a global adventure that will test their abilities and patience. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Mania. So today we're going to have a look at some of the theories in the show that will blow your mind. You don't want to miss this exciting coverage of theories circulating around the show and what we can expect from the show, so make sure you stay until the end. Now let's begin. Number 10. A new Captain America. Sam may have retired from the Air Force in an official capacity back before his Winter Soldier introduction, but now he's a public superhero with no super team. Meanwhile, Bucky is finally in therapy, getting help for his extremely traumatic life. Though he seems a bit less than thrilled to be opening up to anyone, he's struggling with horrific nightmares of his time as a Winter Soldier and doing his best to make amends by using his scattered memories to track down Hydra leftovers and bring them to justice. The biggest cliffhanger is the arrival of a new Captain America, and it's not Sam or Bucky. The new hero isn't named in the episode, but from casting announcements and context clues, we can assume this is John Walker, aka US Agent, played by Wyatt Russell. In the comics, US Agent is a villain and anti-hero who got his start as a pretender Captain America called the Super Patriot, who stepped in to take over when Steve temporarily quit. He represents the sort of zealous nationalism that is antithetical to what Steve Rogers stood for. Number 9. The first mutant in MCU. Although it seems like a bit of a long shot, some fans are predicting that the first mutant will actually appear in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The theory posits that the show will delve into Bucky's past as a brainwashed Hydra agent in Siberia. If you recall from flashback scenes of Civil War, Bucky had to help train the brutal new Winter Soldiers Hydra had created with stolen super soldier serum. As the theory goes, one of those enhanced assassins was actually Arkady Rossovich, better known to comic readers as Omega Red, the nefarious Russian X-Men foe. Number 8. Zemo is back. Marvel has already confirmed that the Avengers nemesis Zemo will return, and with the first look at Daniel Bruhl's return as Zemo released, courtesy of the actor himself on his Instagram, we know for sure that he will feature in the series. What's telling about the paparazzi photos are that the actor is not being filmed fighting against Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but alongside them. It seems that regardless of his hatred of the Avengers and his desire to discredit and disassemble them, Zemo might end up working with the heroes in the series. However, fans are speculating he may be working alongside the US government. Although Zemo did succeed in his goal of destroying the Avengers in Captain America Civil War, it's thought he might return to battle Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes as they strive to continue the group's legacy. This would play nicely into the hands of the American government, who may end up using Zemo as a pawn. Number 7. Bucky and Sharon. Wanda and Vision might not be the only unusual couple in Phase 4 of the MCU. If one is to put any stock in the rumor mill, that is 4chan, and they're often false leaks, it sounds like Bucky Barnes is going to hit it off with none other than Sharon Carter in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. According to a Reddit post, the two display very flirty vibes, despite the fact that the last time Bucky saw Sharon, she was locking lips with his BFF Steve Rogers. As far as fan predictions go, this one is relatively well-grounded. With Steve now out of the picture, it can be assumed that everyone from Bucky's past is now gone. He's a man out of time, and he's all alone. Sharon could represent a piece of his history given her connection to both Steve and Peggy Carter. And although the pair has shared almost no screen time together at this point, that could change on the show. Number 6. The new Black Widow. Before the pandemic hit, fans couldn't wait to see Scarlett Johansson's final ride as Natasha Romanoff, as well as see how newcomers David Harbour, Rachel Weisz, and Florence Pugh would fit into the Marvel Universe at large. This new release schedule is particularly interesting when you consider the fact that, as is the case with most MCU films, the impact of Black Widow could possibly play into what happens in TFATWS. One of the most popular ideas is that Pugh's Russian super spy, Yelena Belova, will take over for Romanoff in Phase 4 and beyond. Since Thunderbolt Ross is confirmed to play a role in Black Widow, fans are theorizing that Belova will actually be working for Ross going forward. perhaps even as a member of the Thunderbolts. Should Pugh make an appearance in TFATWS, it will most likely be as the MCU's new Black Widow, although only time will tell whose side she fights for. Number 5. Taking on the Yakuza. In Endgame, Clint Barton left behind his superhero identity of Hawkeye and became Ronin, a violent samurai vigilante who took on international criminals like the Yakuza. The IMDb cast and crew page reveals that the Yakuza could show up again in an episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. 2 actors are listed as portraying members of the Yakuza. One stuntman is credited as Yakuza bike rider. With Clint having killed a Yakuza boss in Endgame, it's possible that Falcon and Winter Soldier will face backlash from the Japanese mafia in the series. Needless to say, seeing the pair take on the organized crime syndicate in Japan would be a ton of fun to watch. Number 4. Captain America on the Moon. Danny Ramirez's Joaquin questions Mackie's Sam Wilson about Steve's whereabouts. Joaquin mentions, interestingly, there are rumors the retired Avenger is living on a secret base on the moon, looking down over everyone on Earth. Sam playfully dismisses the rumors and later ends the conversation by telling Joaquin that he's heading off to Washington to do some moon stuff. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier premiere deals heavily with the absence left by Steve, but never quite reveals what happened to the character after the events of Avengers Endgame. Coming off of WandaVision, it's worth approaching these kinds of Marvel theories about singular lines of dialogue with a bit more caution. So it wouldn't necessarily be a surprise if Joaquin's moon theory comes back in some way later on. In The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even if said payoff only comes in the form of a quick shot of an old Steve Rogers lounging and listening to music on a secret moon base. Number 3. Antithesis of WandaVision storytelling. The thing about buddy two-handers is, if you've seen any of them, there's really not a mystery to them. They're all character first. They're all about the emotion and connection, or lack of connection, between characters. As amazing as WandaVision was, this is an antithesis in every single way. It's not about figuring something out, it's about characters. Mark Spellman, the series creator, said one of the primary themes of the series is identity and the fact that Zemo, Sharon Carter, Bucky Barnes, and Sam Wilson all saw themselves as one way at the beginning of the story. This is about a muscular story forcing these characters to rethink how they see themselves and confront how the world sees them. To get the emotion of that, you want as much of that to be outward and of the moment so that you can have an emotional experience, he said. Number 2. Introduction of the Commission on Superhuman Activities. If the government is going to do something, you can be damn sure they're going to form a committee to do so, and theoretically speaking, that committee would be the Commission on Superhuman Activities. In the comics, the CSA's members came from all over the government. The military, the NSA, and the FBI were among the organizations that had representatives on the commission. Their job, in a nutshell, was to monitor and strategize on how to deal with the ever-growing number of powered people. As Vision pointed out in Captain America: Civil War, the strength of the Avengers invites challenge. Given what we know about the series, it seems incredibly likely that we will see the further proliferation of powered and see the government response to that. Number 1. Steve Rogers gets killed off. The original Avengers lineup has been disbanded, with some key characters deceased. We last saw Steve Rogers at the end of Endgame as Old Cap, passing his shield on to Sam Wilson. Rumors suggest that we might see the demise of Steve, an event that will set the new series in motion, as the future of the Captain America legacy looms. Hey, and while you're here, go ahead and check out one of these 2 videos on your screen. We'll see you there.